EC2 support. And what we're doing with this is we're using a library called libcloud, and it allows us to interact with Amazon's APIs and say start and stop instances as needed. We can clone existing instances, and as you can see from my setup here, let's just jump on back. We can monitor in real time what things are doing. So right now we can, and it'll give you a list very similar to how you see in EC2. So if, for example, for my Blender job, which is now long gone, maybe I'll submit it again and give us some more options. But if you need to spool up more of the same instance, it's actually pretty straightforward. So let's just do the submission here as a good example. Let's just do 2500. And let this submit. And we should see it come up here. But for example, if I want to say clone this instance, we say clone. I want to make 5, 10 more. Go for it. And it will actually give me the status of how these are coming up. So it'll go from pending, and in the interface, I actually have it here. Let's just show you what's going on. We refresh here. We'll be able to tell. We can see that it's actually provisioning and initializing. So as soon as there we go, job submitted successfully. So there we go, we've got my 250 tasks. It's rocking through them. Let's bring back my monitor. Oops, there we go, tasks. It's rocking through them. Just get this good stuff. And so as they come up, so this is running, it's just been provisioned, and now it's actually beginning to boot. And once they've booted and deadline comes back up and the slate starts up, you'll see in real time them popping up in here. Something I forgot to bring up in the while I was going through this. Again, veterans of Deadline remember a manual refresh process. In Deadline 6.0, because of the performance that Mongo gave us, we actually update almost constantly. You can actually watch in this lower right-hand corner the last update time. So if any time you're curious as to whether or not your data is up to the second accurate, you can get a confirmation there. If, for example, I disconnected from the network, you would actually watch it count up. I don't want to disconnect now because it would completely destroy the webinar, but you get a good feel for that sort of thing. So let's see what we've got going on here. So we're still initializing on Amazon. They should join up. In the meantime, let's see what we've got going on. All right, so that's that stuff. I guess I'll walk a little bit further through here. So to get a copy of Deadline 6, whether you want to try it on 1 machine or 50 machines or however many machines you have, just send an email over to sales@thinkboxsoftware.com. We write 30-day trials for any quantity you might need. As I mentioned in the beginning, setup is a breeze. It really is just start the installer, run through it, and go. So if you are a person who does deployments for a living, you can worry more about your infrastructure and your plugins and dealing with the more difficult stuff than worrying about your render farm. So, save yourself some effort there. If you need help along the way through any of it, whether you need to discuss how a particular feature works or something you may not enjoy built into Deadline, you can give us a call as well, call or email. So to send an email, just send it off to support@thinkboxsoftware.com. Again, comments, suggestions, anything, just send it to us and we'll get back to you. Usually within 24 hours. I think sometimes if I'm on there, it'll be within 20 minutes. If you want to talk to someone, I love to talk. I don't know if you've noticed, but I love to talk. So if you want to give me a call, it's just 1-866-419-0283, and the support extension is number 2. My direct extension is 804, but I'd rather go through the right channels. So let's see how we're doing here. Let's just jump on back, and we've got there's my monitor, and there we go. So we've got my additional EC2 instances up, running, provisioned, and rendering away. And so I've just boosted the render power just by right-click and saying how much more I want it to spawn.